Hola a todos, bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de F1 My Team here today for the Mexican Grand Prix. So, a big one, and I'm looking forward to it. Mexico is traditionally a pretty decent track for us, and the title isn't clickbait. I do recommend you at least watch the first 3 laps of the race. But anyway, if you haven't seen the previous episode, I'll leave it linked up in the top right. The US Grand Prix, a regulation change was announced, so go check it out if you haven't seen it. But this weekend, we're at Mexico, and in terms of the performance chart this weekend, not a huge amount of change, where we've brought some upgrades, but we're still neck and neck with both Alpha teams. In terms of those upgrades, people, one for the chassis and one for the aerodynamics, and they've both been completed, no failures, so good news all round as we look at the upgrades we have still in development. So you can see we've got one for the engine and one for the durability. They're both major, so they'll help us out quite a lot, and this weekend the weather forecast is dry. So with that said, we move into the race weekend, and I've got to say, Mexico has been a bit reprofiled. This corner right here, that right-hander in the middle sector is a lot tighter this year, and you have to take a bit of a lift, and it's not quite fully flat this year. Having said that, quite a few R&D points this weekend. For once, actually, Lundgaard, instead of bringing 0 points, actually brought 200 points to the table. So between the two of us, about 860, I believe. So a pretty decent start to the weekend all round, and we get plenty of discounts on these parts. And also the team acclaim goes up to near enough level 13, and yeah, we rank up eventually at the end. So we now move into qualifying into Q1, and having seen what other people have done on Twitch and stuff, I've seen people stream this race. I'm kind of optimistic we can maybe try and get to Q2 this weekend. I feel like that's got to be the target, and we've got the car for it. So in qualifying, you can see I've actually got quite a worn out control electronics. If you guys remember the Russian Grand Prix episode, we finished that weekend with a 94% worn control electronics, which was 68% at the start of qualifying. So we're going to take a risk again, but we're going to try and make it work. Now, at the end of our first time lapping Q1, we actually set a relatively strong banker, actually. It wasn't too bad. We go ahead of Lundgaard and Schumacher, and about a half a second behind Lance Stroll and behind Yuki Tsunoda. But then we go for a second lap. I went back to the pits, put a fresh set of tyres on, and I went out with a bit of time to spare in case something went wrong, which it did. I completely messed up the first 3 corners, so I actually backed off, and we're going to go again. So right now, P16, we're through as it stands. Is this lap going to help us? We're about to find out. Let's see if we can get into Q2 with this lap. And there it is, across the line. It's a massive lap. 112.9, a 3.5 tenth improvement, and that will see us comfortably into Q2. So a very good lap there. Lundgaard just misses out in P17, but we go through by about 3 tenths over our teammates, so pretty comfortably actually getting the job done, and ahead of Ocon and Tsunoda. So overall, the car's working well. What I am going to do though is for Q2, I'm going to make an adjustment. I'm going to add a +1 on the front wing. So we are using, I believe, 9.7 right now. We're going to move that up to 10.7 and try and have a bit more of a front end on the car. So here we are at our first lap of Q2. This is with the used set of tyres, and the lap itself was quite scruffy. Across the line, we go P15 ahead of Tsunoda, but still half a second off Bottas in P12. So not ideal. And a 113.2 is 3 tenths off our Q1 lap. So time to find, and here we are then, our last set of fresh soft tyres. We're going to give everything and see what happens. At the final corner, Important to really make the track as wide as possible, take the widest possible line to really build up that speed before you cross the start-finish line. Down to turn 1, you want to spot the 50-meter board as your reference here. You want to brake just before that, so about 75-80 meters. 4th gear for turn 1, 3rd, and then quickly back up to 4th for 2 and 3. Short shifting, very important to get that good traction. Quickly bring the car to the right for the shortest run to turn 4. At the 100-meter board, down to 3rd gear. Try and sacrifice the left a little bit to open up the right, and keep it in 3rd. It's going to get much better stability through there. Into the hairpin, down to 2nd gear briefly, then quickly a double upshift to 4th. Then into the S section, entering 6th gear. This is all about car setup, letting the car flow. Timing of the gear shifts is important, so watch when I do it. And really making sure and focusing on your exit, because you really want to make sure you get that nice run on this back straight. Down to the final part of the lap now. Tricky right-hander here, avoid the inside curb. Into the hairpin, 2nd gear, pick up a late apex to really kind of straight line that exit. Final corner, 3rd gear, bring the car quickly over to the right for the shortest run to the line, and we improve by 6.5 tenths, a very strong lap. We go P11, so we just miss out on the top 10, but a very, very good lap, and I was more than happy with it. A 112.6, that was 3 tenths quicker than our Q1 lap, and the adjustment on the front wing actually worked out really well for us. The car was a lot faster, and we had a lot more pace, so we actually unlocked a bit more potential in the car. So at the end of Q2, we finished in P13. I think I could have probably got P12 off Alonso. I think that was possible. Lance Stroll just a bit too far away, and Seb Vettel as well. So not too mad about that, you know. P13, free tyre choice, I don't mind. But anyway, overall, decent qualifying. Car looks pretty strong. We're now going to move into the race in what is probably the craziest race I've had in this game, and the craziest one I've had in a long, long time.
Here we go then, it's time to race in Mexico City, a place which gave Honda their first ever victory back in 1965. American Richie Ginther won from 3rd on the grid. And what are the Honda-powered cars this year? Well, Red Bull have been going strong here in recent seasons, so can they keep that record going today? We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's start with Aston Martin. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Vettel, Lance Stroll, and Fernando Alonso. Leclerc, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Martinez, Ricciardo, and Kimi Raikkonen. Norris, they've taken a grid penalty. Tsunoda, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Sainz. Russell, Ocon, Pierre Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Nikita Mazepin, Lundgaard, Mick Schumacher, Verstappen, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Now, I'm looking forward to this race because we are starting from 8th place. I don't know how. We've absolutely frauded our way onto the 4th row of the grid, but we're going to take it. So, here we are, P8, and in terms of strategy to try and make something happen, we're going to start on the medium tyre, we're then going to go onto the soft tyre, and then onto another set of softs, so back-to-back soft tyre stints later on. Hopefully we can try and be competitive in this race. I'm expecting slightly better race pace than USA, so that should be a good thing for us. Fuel-wise, I'm going to run 36 laps on the nose, no more and no less. No rain expected, but overcast conditions pretty much throughout the entire race. Now, 8th place, free tyre choice is massive. I'm very much looking forward to this. We've got a good chance of points, and I want to try and take it. So let's make it count for something. I'm very excited. Let's get into the action. Right, here we go. Can we make it a good start at mediums? It's a long run to the first corner. Lights out, away we go. Reaction time wasn't that great. Really didn't do a good job there reacting to the lights. Here comes more traffic. I'm going to try and cover off the inside as best as I can. Lando getting ahead. I'm going to try and re-challenge into turn 1. Now through turn 2 we go. Taking it very easy here inside for 3, which will give us the better line. I'm going to just get back ahead of Lando Norris here. He's going to try and re-challenge to the outside though. Down to turn 4 we go. Got to be careful. AI are braking quite early. Lando's got the better line there. He's going to get the inside. But we get the outside through here, but I just get brake checked by Ricciardo and I can't quite commit to the move. So we're going to have to accept P10. Lost 2 places. That's okay. I mean, both McLaren's ahead of us, which is, you know, normal. They should be faster than us. So we aren't going to hold them for long. But let's see if I can find some race pace early on here. See if I can make these tyres work. Got Sonoda looking for a move on softs. We're going to force him the long way around. We've got 3 wide up ahead as well. We're going to just get back ahead of Yuki Tsunoda there as we go to the hairpin. Easy does it. Really want to be careful to not chop off my front wing. Perez, Leclerc side by side here through the final corner. Alonso pits. Possible damage. A few cars in the pit lane actually. Stroll as well. So multiple cars pit. We're up to P7. So damage possibly for a lot of cars. Meanwhile...
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start
Jeff,
to see a loss of power.
It's 4 wide, mate. Oh my god, and Norris is blowing up on the straight. It's carnage. Okay, what's happening here? There's more contact. Illegal overtake from Ricciardo. What?
Okay,
come on. No,
back.
what's going on?
That's an
This is the
illegal
craziest race start I've had in a long time.
Green flag.
Lando
Some information
out of
on
the
Norris.
race.
They're retiring from the race.
Okay, let's just calm down. We're P6 right now. Somehow, which is absolutely fine by me. Ricciardo has wing damage. I'm going to try and get on the inside here and get past him, which we do. And we're now P5 in this race. What the hell has happened? I think we got a Mercedes out front. Sebastian Vettel is P2. And I think Leclerc has wing damage as well here. We could be P4 in this race. You can see the Ferrari struggling. Oh my god, we almost run to the back of Perez there. Let's see if we can get the overtake done here. We're going to use Perez as our kind of way to get through. But I can't really get past this 2 wide roadblock. Hamilton leads the way. That's massive for the championship. Bottas having to pit because of wing damage. I can't get past Leclerc right now. He's super slow. Perez pits as well. My god, we're at P3. How has this happened? What?
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Meanwhile, we're in a drag race now with Yuki Tsunoda. You can see the engine wear on the control electronics, 70%.
Caution, caution.
On the inside of Tsunoda, we're going to hold that position. My chair's just moved under braking, so I'm super uncomfortable right now. But crucially, we've held on, and we are P3 in this race. Lewis Hamilton, after 3 laps, is 16 seconds up the road. What the hell has happened? By far the craziest race start of the entire series so far, and I don't think it's going to get topped anytime soon as we completely chop off Tsunoda there at the nose. My god, we are P3, and where's Lundgaard? Hopefully he could be in some points today. What a crazy race. Wow. Personal best. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let Tsunoda overtake me. I'm going to be realistic now. I've kind of got my thinking cap on, so I've got no ERS left. I've got less than 20%. So I'm going to try and follow Tsunoda, see if I can stay in the DRS, and I can try and recharge my ERS a little bit. So let's stick with him and try and think long term this race, because we can get a podium today if we play our cards right, and there's the famous old saying. Let's see if we can make it happen. Okay, Tsunoda's just dropped me out of DRS range, which is fine. I think we've done enough to stay close. We've done a personal best by half a second, and even then that wasn't enough to stay within DRS. So you can't really argue it at that point. It is where it is. Still with P4, I mean, if we finish here, I'll be very happy. But I'm going to try and fight Tsunoda. We've got the better strategy long term, so we might be able to come back at him. Oh, that was a big snap there, though. Jeez Louise.
Yellow flag.
Oh my god.
Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
That's Sebastian Vettel going slow, I'm pretty sure. Or is it Lance Stroll? No, it's Seb. We're back on the podium. Oh my god. What's happening? He's got going again, so he's not retiring. It must have been a spin or something. Must have made a mistake. So Seb has got going again, but he's now kind of back within range. Oh mate, this race is going crazy. I don't even know anymore, man.
Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Okay, that's good news. Kimi was the first car behind us on mediums on the same strategy, so he's going to start dropping back, and that's good news for Lundgaard as well. Okay, personal best. I'm trying to get back on the pace a little bit. I'm using a bit more ERS again. And so far, we're doing okay. We're hanging in there pace-wise. We'll see how the race goes on, but I think I'm going to struggle with Taro a little bit this race. Sebastian Vettel in the pit lane, as is Lewis Hamilton. But I think Hamilton's so far ahead, he's already rejoined back in the lead. So this race is 100% Lewis Hamilton's to win. He's going to be very much in control. I'm starting to close in on Tsunoda now, got back under 2 seconds. And there we go, Tsunoda pits. Unfortunately, I didn't quite get DRS, which I was hoping for. But we're now P2 in the race. Let's see how things pan out once all the pit stops are done. We've got a couple more laps to go yet on these tyres. We'll pit on lap 16.
Okay, we have an issue with the control electronics box. That's going to do additional damage to all other power unit components.
Yeah, we know about that. That's the risk we're taking here today. Again, similar to Russia. The control electronics on 75% now. Okay, here we go. We're going to pit this lap into the baseball stadium, just trying to squeeze everything out of these tyres. They just feel like crap, man. I'm not enjoying these at all, so I want to get these off. Get some fresh soft tyres on. Usually does it. There we go. Pretty conservative pit entry. Looking at the minimap, I think we're going to rejoin with that Ferrari that's in the middle sector right now, entering the stadium. I think that's where we're going to be. We need this to be a sub 2 second though. This has to be fast.
Go now.
Yes, 1.9. Fantastic. Alonso pits, so we're going to rejoin actually, I think, ahead of the Red Bull.
Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
Yep, we're ahead of Perez, who's behind us. And we are on fresh softs. Tsunoda up the road, 4 seconds ahead. So him pitting for softs again, he's managed to get a bit of an undercut on us and a bit of an advantage. That's what you get. But then he'll be on mediums later on and we'll have the tyre advantage. So let's use these to good effect and try and make up some ground. P5 right now. We're looking very, very good this race. We're catching Tsunoda and Stroll here, I think. Yeah, Tsunoda's got wing damage. He's going slow. You can see visually how much we're catching on the straight. Oh, okay, they're battling away here. We're going to try and go for this. Make it 3 wide. Up the inside we go. Oh, lovely. Just like that, we've done it already. Well, that has worked out perfectly. Quick, easy, fast. Got rid of the traffic, and we can now just drive off. Let's try and drop Stroll out of DRS range, but Tsunoda getting wing damage. Obviously battling Lance in the process. Let's push on. We've got the best tyres for it, and I think Perez might lose a little bit of time stuck behind Stroll, so this could work out in our favour quite nicely. And just like that, we've dropped Stroll quite comfortably. Personal best. I'm trying to save a bit of fuel. We are quite negative. You know, that's quite a lot. 0.17. So I want to try and save that. I'll try and remember to use lean mix in the pit lane. If I can speak English, I'll remember to use lean in the pit lane. There we go. Next time we pit. So yeah, we'll try and go for that. I've also going to go for a 1 click less on the front wing in the next stop. So a bit more straight line speed. I can that way lift off a little bit. I'm going to try and save my ERS though. We've got 4 seconds to Gasly.
Accumulating some wear on the MGUK. To manage this, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
Copy that, Jeff. So we've got 4 seconds to Gasly. I can afford to let him eat up that gap a little bit. He's then going to go into the mediums for the final stint and we'll be back on the softs. So we're battling Gasly right now for a podium. Let's see how that one shakes out.
We've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. The safety car is being deployed.
Wow. Bottas out of the race in sector 2.
The safety car is waiting.
So we're going to pass the safety car. I don't even know anymore. This race has been pure chaos, mate. I don't even know anymore. I don't know, man. I'm vibing, I'm driving, I'm chilling. The only issue is I think this might ruin our strategy a bit. I might pit and go back onto the mediums to go to the end. It might be a shout. I may pit.
Christian is coming in for his stop.
A lot of it are going for hards. I mean, my softs are still relatively fresh, but if we pit for the mediums now, we can lock in this podium. I'm pretty sure. So Hamilton's pitting for mediums. What I don't get is how Gasly has dropped so far back. I don't know what's happened though. His delta's a bit weird. But we're going to box this lap for mediums. We're going to go for it. We've got a fresh set, so we may as well use it. I'm not going to go for that front wing change because we can now save fuel. But here we go into the pits. Let's get those mediums on. Easy does it. Lovely entry. So Vettel and Hamilton, yeah, exactly. See, they've got the same idea as me. This is the right call. Gasly stays out. We should be able to rejoin ahead of Alonso here and stay P4, net P4 on fresh mediums.
Go, go, go.
2.6, pretty standard stop, but that's going to do the job for us. We're going to be ahead of Alonso. Fresh mediums to the end. We can make this happen.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Okay, awesome. Wow, we can get a podium today. Gasly has to stop, so we're going to be net P3 in this race. We've got Alonso behind us on hard, so he's going to actually be a bit of a rear shield, a bit of a buffer for us. I'm just going to try and start these curbs a little bit to avoid killing off the control electronics too soon. But right now, we are looking very good for our second podium of the season. Okay, safety car in this lap. Just trying to get some tyre temp in at the last moment. Make sure we're ready to go for the restart. Hamilton's going to get clear track. We're going to have quite a bit of traffic, but we may have a chance to get Sebastian Vettel here. Latifi and Mazepin could be potential spanners in the works.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed.
We do seem to be lacking though some straight line speed, I'm not even going to lie. We seem slow. 10.7 wings is definitely hurting us. Let's see if we can clear this traffic into turn 1 as Vettel goes for the move on Gasly, or tries to go for the move on Gasly. Pierre's going to be struggling like crazy on those tyres now, so I'm expecting him to pit this lap. Still 12 laps to go, a lot can happen, but crucially, we're net P3 right now, and that's all that matters. And there we go, Gasly pits. This is it. It's time to push. We need to see if we can drop Alonso, ideally. Can we pass Sebastian Vettel here? Can we do it? I'm going to use quite a fair bit of the ERS. We're struggling, though, to really close up to the Aston Martin. Don't think we're close enough. Not quite. I wish I hadn't used my ERS now, but I had to go for it and have a look. We may have another chance here if I can nail the exit out of 3, which I don't really get right. Yeah, not quite possible to pass him just yet. Let's see if we can stick with Seb though. With DRS we may have a chance. Hopefully it doesn't drive off and we can try and stick with him on the same time. So I think we should have a better chance than compared to at the start of the race. I think Sebastian's dropped me out of DRS range. I'm just not fast enough. Just don't have the pace. I've managed to drop Alonso.
The virtual safety car has been deployed.
Ooh.
Slow down and maintain a positive delta.
I think we had a spin.
Resulting in a high level of debris on the track.
I think someone spun in the middle sector. Either way, that's going to give us a slight chance maybe of fighting back. If we can time this VSC, Lundgaard's out. That's a real shame. It wasn't any in the points anyway though. Oh yes.
Green flag.
We timed that quite well. Although to be fair, I'm going to need a strong final sector here. Alonso got quite a bit of momentum behind me though. I think he even got the best restart of anyone. I've messed up there a little bit. Then my tyres are a little bit cold. Unfortunately, the VSC hasn't worked out. We've actually not been able to get back within range of Sebastian Vettel. The AI just go full power after a VSC and I can't match it. And Alonso just had the best restart out of all of us because he managed to get the momentum out of the S section and get within my DRS. So we're in trouble. I don't have any good straight line speed, so we're going to be fighting until the end of this race. We're going to have to fight for this podium. It's not going to be easy. Here comes Alonso. Look at the speed already. There's no point in me draining the little ERS I have left to match that. We're going to try and see if I can follow Alonso. I think that's a bit more realistic. I'll see if I can charge my battery behind him. And we'll see if we can repass him for the podium and get that P3 back. Oh my god! What? We just saw that happen. Is this what happened to Bottas? Maybe. Obviously you guys would have seen it by now, but Perez. Oh my god. Wow. Is this going to be a safety car? The pressure's off from behind now though. Perez out of the race. It's me versus Alonso for the podium. Looks like we're not getting nothing. I think we've had enough virtuals and safety cars this race. A bit far from Alonso. He's just managed to pull away a little bit there. I've just kind of been caught napping. I'm going to use my ERS to try and close up. We've just held on to DRS, which is crucial. We're going to look to pass Alonso now though. 2 laps to go. or 3 laps to go technically if you include this one. It's time to pass. Right, we're going to try and pass Alonso. I'm starting to lose my tyres a little bit, so I don't want to give him the chance to pull away on hards. So here we go. I've managed to charge up my battery a little bit. It's not easy to save ERS around here, but we're going to give it our shot. Let's see if we can pass him into turn 1. That way we can try and pull away through 1, 2 and 3. A little bit of ERS just to close the gap here. Up the inside we go. Not the cleanest of moves, but we're through, and we've done him. Another warning for track limits, I've got to be careful, man. Right, I've got DRS, let's try and push. Lap and a half to go. Last lap of the race. Alonso on the straight is an absolute rocket ship. We're going to force him to the outside. That way we'll just take the race in line and stay ahead. Just got to keep it tidy now through here. I'm not going to risk and cut those corners. I don't want to get the penalty now. I've got enough ERS here to keep things under control. We should be okay. And yes, we are. Alonso not close enough. Let's just see it through now for the rest of the lap. And here we are. Final sector. Hamilton wins. That's massive for the championship with Bottas out of the race. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel P2. And we're going to come through for P3 and our second podium of the season. I can't believe it. What a race. Yes.
That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
A reliable car, that was the most important factor here. This was a real battle of attrition, and you could tell those at the front were trying to find a balance between running their outright pace and taking care of the car to reach the end.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Well, there we have it then, folks. What a race. I cannot believe what's just happened. So many retirements, crashes, safety car, virtual safety car, 4 wide, engine blowouts, literally everything. Just when you thought this season couldn't get any better, it has. Lewis Hamilton picks up the W here today and takes a massive step towards the 8th World Championship. Sebastian Vettel P2 joins him on the podium. We finish in P3 ahead of Fernando Alonso. Ricciardo P5 ahead of Charles Leclerc. Both AlphaTauris in the top 8 with Ocon and Russell scoring a point for Williams in P10. Missing out on the points, Raikkonen, Stroll, Sainz, Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Mazepin, Latifi, then Perez, Verstappen, Lundgaard, Bottas, Norris, all out of the race. Now, we're going to look at the standings because a lot of things are going to change after this. So first and foremost, the Drivers' Championship, we are back into the top 10. We overtake Stroll and Sainz and Gasly, and we're back in the mix. And only 16 points behind Fernando Alonso, but crucially 6 points ahead of Lance Stroll. In the Constructors' standings, we are in 8th place, only 2 points behind AlphaTauri. So the fight is back on. We might be able to finish P7 and we want that prize money. So let's jump into upgrades and let's see what we can do.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
Not really. I think we had a good car actually. We did like a bit of straight line speed, but through the corners we had pretty good pace, and crucially the strategy was really good as well. So yeah, that helped a lot, I think.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
I think we just have a great team. I think we work well together. We work hard.
That was an epic battle today. How do you think this will play out?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good fun actually, and we managed to get the advantage, which was great. But I do think, you know, the fans are going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be good fun going forward.
Appreciate your time.
Well, after the race, we actually outscored Fernando Alonso by 3 points. So 5-2 in our favour. We actually pull things back quite a bit, and who knows, maybe it could be game on. I highly doubt it, but you never know, we may have a chance to actually beat Fernando after all. After that race, we gained a big chunk of acclaim, and we're now level 9, so the exact same level as Christian Lundgaard, and the multiplier up to 36% now as a team. So happy to see that. in terms of, you know, cash bonuses, our sponsors give us a full payout, which is awesome. And elsewhere, a few deductions on Lundgaard's side. Besides that, a pretty strong weekend actually, financially, as we got to 3.5 million. Okay, here we are then, back in the office, and we have 3 days until the next race in Brazil, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. So, activities, first and foremost, only 2 days, so we can't really do a lot. But what we are going to do is treat the team to a podium celebration. I don't mind giving them something to, you know, feel good about. We're also going to go for some driver promotion filming to improve acclaim. Elsewhere, we have 2,200 R&D points, so we are going to go ahead and do some aerodynamic work, and we're going to purchase a front downforce upgrade. I wanted to get this one for quite a while. We're going to go ahead and get that on the car. 29% failure chance, so hopefully that arrives. And that could well be our last upgrade of the season. I'm actually going to save the rest of the points in case we get a regulation change confirmed, in which case I'll start spending those points to try and protect those upgrades. Now what I will do is I'm going to try and buy a resource point generation upgrade. So 1.6 mil on the aero, we'll go ahead and get that. Do I want to do it for the chassis as well? 1.6. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. So we'll get those both on, and then we'll try and do the powertrain at some point as well, and that means everything in the 4 performance departments will be level 1, which is what we want. So let's skip ahead to the next race in Brazil. Overworked driver. We're concerned we may be pushing Lundgaard too hard in training. I suggest we give them a break from their routine today and perhaps give them a breather to recharge their batteries. If we agree, Lundgaard's awareness goes up by 7. If we decline, the racecraft goes down by 5. Okay, interesting. I mean, if we're looking at it from a pure performance perspective, there's more upside to declining this because you want to gain 7 points rather than gain 5. Well, to be fair, awareness, I'm gonna decline. I want the racecraft. So the good news, all of our upgrades for this weekend have arrived. So if we go to the progress chart, we've only got 2 on the way, and it's pretty much just the one we just purchased realistically in terms of performance. And that could be it for us this season. I think I'm going to start planning ahead now for season 2 so we can try and close the gap over the winter. So we're going to have to save some points, and therefore this upgrade right here could be the last one in terms of outright performance. So yeah guys, that's going to be it. The next one will be Brazil. Looking forward to that one. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, absolutely insane, crazy, all over the place race, then leave a like, subscribe for more, as we have a few more races left in season 1 before we move into season 2. And as always, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't done so already. And guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.